Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Holly. I'm Holly and it is week 1 of August, the first Friday of August, and I come in every Friday and share some artwork featuring the stamp of the month. And it happens to be this set right here, which is called Goodbye Isn't Forever. It is the August stamp of the month, and for those of you that are VIPs with me, you get this for free with a $50 purchase, and if you're not a VIP, it's only $5 with that $50 purchase. But there is a link in this particular video down below, and you will be able to see all the details about why you want to be a VIP. And there's a link directly going to show you all of that on my website. Seriously, it's one of the best customer reward programs Coldstream has ever had. In fact, it's the only reward program they've ever offered. And this is, I think we're into the 3rd or 4th year of this program. And it's just so exciting to see people earning so many free items from previous orders. So that is the stamp of the month. This catalog has one more month left, only 4 more weeks to purchase and shop from it. I want to highlight this Briggs and Leaves stamp set, the thin cut, the stencil, and the, I think that was it. Oh, the embossing folder and the stencils. So this is such an amazing collection, and Close to My Heart came out with this for the album retreat. So I got a sneak peek of it and actually received these 3 items. Didn't receive the stamp set, so I did end up purchasing that. This is the stamp set. They can all be purchased individually. The bundle has sold out. But just let me tell you, when you add up the price of every item individually, it comes out to the same price as the bundle. So you're not saving any more by getting the bundle. But I'm using it quite a bit during the month of August, not only for the stamp of the month, but I want to share with you some other projects that I have for you, just to show you how much mileage you can get out of these sets. So this is the stamp set, and it coordinates with the thin cut, which is right here, and it is a slimline thin cut, and you get all of these pieces when you cut out this, not only the frame to go on a card, but also these fabulous pieces that I used on my projects. There is a stencil. It's a 2-part stencil that will give you some amazing layering, which I will show with some ideas in just a minute. And then this is the embossing folder. So they all work together, and it's just such an incredible set. And I wanted to highlight that for you on page 26 and page 27 of the July and August catalog. And I use it, like I said, I'm using it quite a bit with my stamp of the month artwork, so I really wanted you to see where you can find it. So this is the embossing folder, run through a piece of cardstock, and then this is the thin cut, and I cut out all of those pieces and had just all different colors, and the glitter paper on it is just amazing. We're going to be using just some of the glitter pieces on this particular card. This one I did not use it at all. And then this is the layout that I'm going to walk you through how to create today, and you can see that I'm using it as a wonderful accent on this layout, but then I'm also going to show you how to stamp this border all the way around. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set this off to the side. And what we're going to do first is we are using the light side of the, oh my goodness, my brain has a brain fog. I'll remember it in just a minute. It's not honey butter, it's shortbread. Oh my goodness. We are using the shortbread cardstock, and I want to show you my mistake. This was my original one, and I just didn't like how it was lining up. I didn't like how I stamped. So guess what? That is the beautiful thing about paper crafting, is you can turn it over and you can do the other side. So we are going to do the light side of shortbread. And I am going to just set this off to the side so that I can still refer to it as I am working along. But what we're going to do first is we're going to take the Mocha cardstock and we're going to line it up onto the shortbread, the light side. And it's about at the 1 inch and the 11 inch mark up here at the top, and then the same here. So we want about a 1 inch border all the way around. And then I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm very lightly going to come over here in this corner and I'm going to just draw some pencil lines really softly. I am not trying to press too hard. I just want to see them when I lift up so that I know where to stamp my images. And then I'm going to go back and erase this when I'm done. And this is how you do it. Okay, so now that I've got my lines there, I'm going to take my Toffee ink and I'm going to take my 3 stamps from this stamp set, which happens to be this image right here, this one, and we are just going to randomly stamp all the way around in the Toffee ink, and the Toffee ink looks so beautiful on shortbread. And so what I did is I started in the corners because I wanted these to be my kind of anchor points. And so let me just share with you how I did this. So I'm just inking this up, trying not to move the camera. Let's move this right here. I think this will be easier for you to see. And so we want to go right up here in this corner, just like that, and just hold that down so that it stamps. And another tip that I want to teach you, with the Versamat, you can actually turn this over and it has a foam pad underneath, which makes it ideal for stamping. And now I'm going to take this little guy and I'm just going to kind of fill in that image right there, and they do layer really, really nicely. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing in the other 3 corners. So we're going to stamp that one right there, and then we're going to fill in. Whoops, and try not to get ink onto your block if you can, but if you do, like I do all the time, you can just lightly wipe it off with your chamois or a wet towel. Just don't use baby wipes because they can put hairline fractures into your blocks as well as your stamps. And the beautiful thing about this is you can stamp upside down and you can see exactly what you're doing, and you don't have to turn your paper, which is just great. Okay, so now that we've got those 4 corners done, we're now going to come in and we're going to fill in with this larger image, and we're going to follow the line. And we're going to just stamp it right like this. Again, make sure that you kind of press down and let that ink absorb into your paper. And we're just going to kind of move this in the direction that we want it to go. Okay? So again, I'm just trying to follow that line and have it show as much as possible. And it's okay that it's just going to kind of peek out. That is what we want it to do. Just like that. And then we're going to come over here and do the same thing on these sides. And obviously one side shows more than the other, and that's quite all right. And then here we go. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're now going to take these and fill in. And these go on the opposite side of these little sprigs. So we're just kind of connecting these just like so. Oops. And I'm just trying to connect right here with their stems. It's kind of a nice way to connect them. And this one we'll just do like this because I did it kind of in the opposite direction, which is quite all right. You know, they're just going to look unique and their own. Whoops. And then here is the last one. It's just going to kind of go like that. And now I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to go right here in the center of these and just kind of connect them. And again, like I said, It's okay if they overlap. And you know what? I'm not going to do that one because those filled in really nicely. And I did these a little bit different, so they're going to look a little bit different, but that's okay. You guys get the idea. And since this needs something over here, I'm going to just fill in right there. And I'm going to fill this one in over here. And I'm going to fill this one in over there. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take my pencil and I am just going to very gently remove those lines. And I love our dye-based ink because it dries instantly after stamping. And so you're able to do this and not have to worry about the ink smearing or removing. Okay, and now that we've done this, we are now ready to start the assembly because I've done all the other stamping in advance. Okay, we are now ready to go. I'm going to move this Versamat back over to the right side just so that I can use it for measurements. And we are now going to attach this piece of Mocha. And I've just got some score tape on here to make it just really easy for me to attach this. So I'm just tearing those little pieces off. And then we want to make sure that we line this up again at the 1 inch and the 11 inch all the way around. I want to make sure that nothing is showing that I don't want shown. And I think I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just set that down. And then I'm going to come in here and I've got a lot of my pieces already prepped for the white piece. So we're now going to attach this one. And again, I put some score tape on here just to help expedite the assembly process for all of you. And I am going to attach this. Again, don't forget the guide you will receive from me when you qualify for the Stamp of the Month this month. I will send you the guide with all the corresponding videos. So you will have that at your fingertips and you'll be able to go back and watch these videos as often as you would like. Okay, I'm going to show you a really fun journaling trick in just a minute. But now I'm going to take the pieces from the Cozy Up paper pack and we are going to attach these on here. I'm going to just get them lined up the way I want them. And then I will go back and I will tack them down with some adhesive. But I like them to be a little bit more centered with less space in between them so that you see more of the white border. I just think it grounds it a lot more. So I'm just moving these where I want them. And then once I get them exactly where I want them, I will tack them down. But I just want to get these lined up really good. And I just find that this helps me so much more when I can see exactly where they are. That looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off one at a time. And I am going to put them back where I want them. And it helps when you do two corresponding to the one that you just put down, because then it grounds the others around it. So I'm going to just move that. And if you have to, you can always pick these up and move them. If they kind of get a little out of place and you're not happy with the placement, you can always pick them up and just move them. Just gonna tack those down like that. Love the Cozy Up paper. I hope that you see just how many different unique ways you can use this. It doesn't have to be fall. In fact, you could just take the pumpkin paper away and you wouldn't know that this was fall. So I love this. I love how versatile it is. And you can always take one of the papers from the mixing collection for this particular catalog and you could throw that in here as well. Okay, so now once we've done that, I'm going to come over here and grab my title, which is The Goodbye Isn't Forever, Love Is. And I've already got some foam tape on this. And then I've also already put some micro glue dots on the back of the leaves that I'm going to use. So what we're going to do is attach this bracket, the large bracket right now, and we're using the dark side of toffee, or excuse me, not toffee, but shortbread. So this is the dark side of shortbread, and then I am going to just start taking these leaves and kind of getting them to meet in the center. So I'm going to take my mocha ones first, and I want them kind of overlapping, just like that. And then I want the pine to go next, and I want them to kind of tuck out like that. And this one is going to kind of go out like that. And then I can go ahead and put this in just like that. And now I'm ready to accent with the gold ones, and I want the gold to kind of go on the opposite side. Just like that. And then I did use some of the really cute hearts from the Cozy Up dots. And I believe I used these darker ones. And I think I used a medium one and a small one. So I put a medium one right there. And then I've got a small one right here. And he goes right over here above the period. And then this is the sentiment, and I loved just being able to take my scissors, and I'm trimming off the I hope, and I'm going to use this as my journaling. And so I'm just carefully cutting around the words, just like this. Just be real gentle. And we're going to come around that G and the S. And then I'm going to come around the laugh. And you'll just see that I'm just really being careful to trim out these just so that you can see some shape and continuity with it. And then I'm going to trim off the I hope. And so it's going to say you can. I'm going to trim that real carefully. And then I trimmed it at comfort. So you can find some comfort in the stories, the laughs. And then I'm going to come over here and just trim this down. Whoops, let's get that little piece out of here. I'm going to trim this off too so that I can, whoops, sorry about that. So now I'm just going to take my scissors. I love our nonstick scissors, I mean, for multiple reasons, not just for the fact that they are nonstick, but they are the sharpest scissors, and they are just so good at cutting around and being able to fussy cut around things, and you get such a beautiful clean line every time, even with something that's as delicate as this. And I'm just going to come around that curve, and then we're going to trim it right here at the memories and that. So that's going to go like that, and I'm going to just come in here and just trim that off just a little bit more. And that's going to go right there. So you can either use glue dots, which I think I will, or you can use your tape runner. Whatever is easiest for you. I just like the fact that glue dots are so easy to attach and then stick down. And these are the micro ones, which are perfect for small images like this. And you could use foam tape if you wanted to, but I am going to just stick with the glue dots. I think that will serve this purpose really nicely. And you can tuck them in if you get them out like I just did right there. You can just come in and bring your finger and tuck it around, and it'll attach beautifully. And here's this one. Perfect. Okay, now we are ready to get our journaling piece, or our, not journaling, but our title on here, our title image, I should say. And then I'm going to mount this picture right here. This will be the end of my flip flap. And then I'm going to teach you how to do the bookends. So one flip flap is going to go this way to the left, and the other one is going to go to the right. And before I do that, and actually one of these needs to go behind this, so let me just carefully take this off without tearing it, because I want to show you how to do some lines in the black Le Pen around the main image so that it looks more like a picture. So let me just move this out of the way very quickly, and we will be able to finish this very quickly. So I'm going to take our ruler, which if you have not seen the new T ruler, you guys, it's amazing. So not only does it hook on to the side of your Versamat, but it's got all these grid lines, and these grid lines are ideal for doing journaling because you can see where they stop, and these are 1/8 of an inch increments. And so you can get a perfect, beautiful border, an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. We're gonna start at this 1/8 of an inch, and we're gonna stop at that one. And then you can either lift this up and place it just like this, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to start right here, and we're gonna stop right there. So you can either keep moving this all the way around, or you can pick it up and move it as needed. But you are going to get a perfect placement and line on here. And I just think it takes the guesswork out of creating a beautiful line around your images. And then if you've got something that you need to connect, you can always do that right there. And I love it. Isn't that just so amazing? So now I'm going to attach this onto this side, and that's going to be the beginning of my flip flap. Just like so. And then this one is going to go inside like this. And then this one, I want to share with you how to create some more journaling lines with this stamp set. And it is from this current catalog as well. It's called Setting the Scene. And let me find it in the catalog. It's like one of the first stamps, I think. It might be towards the back. So sorry, I should have had it flagged. There it is. It is on page 48. I have used this set so much, you guys. You'll see the one that I did with the Cape Cod card making stamp set. We used this a lot, and we used this, and you can create a background with this image, which is fantastic. But I want to show you how to use it as journaling lines, and I've already gone ahead and created a mask at 1/4 of an inch all the way around. I'm going to take my foam pad from the stamp set, and then I'm also going to take the Mocha Ink. And you can do one of two things. You can just go straight down, and you'll have a nice border with these lines, just like this. And be careful, because I've already inked it where I didn't want to. I pressed a little bit too hard. Whoops, and I'm moving this too, so let me try and do this carefully without making too big of a mess. So just pick that up, and then you can line it back up. And look at how cool this is. When you lift up, you've got a beautiful border, and you don't see where I started or ended. Isn't that so fabulous? So I just love learning all these little tips and tricks and then passing them along. Okay, we are now, whoops, as I flip that out of my hands, we're going to attach this one now to our last flip flap. And then this is going to go inside here. And it is going to flip this way. And if you want, you can move that around so that your journaling lines, the smaller one is at the bottom and the larger one is up at the top. And then this is going to get attached onto my page protector. If I had a page protector here, which you know what, I actually do. So I want to just show you, for those of you that have never used our flip flaps. So this is going to go down inside my page protector like so. And this flip flap is going to attach on the page protector right here, and it's going to go over my photo mat. And then I'm going to open this up like so, and this one is going to get flapped underneath, and that way they will be nested inside each other, just like that. Okay, well, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me today. I hope you learned a little bit about stamping. I hope you learned a little bit about creating some journaling lines and some visual lines onto your papers. And next week, I will be back to share with you how to make this beautiful scene card. Thank you so much for joining me, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel, and that way you'll get notifications when I share my next video. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.